Our routines have a lot of similarities, although the flavors are slightly different. We could talk about that.
Probably the neurophysiological effects are the same.
Very, very similar, I would imagine. So after the holy half hour, what happens?
After the holy half hour, now I've taken no nutrition except for, salty water with some, a high dose. I take high dose creatine monohydrate with my workout drink.
What's high dose?
High dose for me is 15 to 20 grams a day.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, in the single
so
dose.
the first 5 is for, muscle protein synthesis or volumization of muscles, which is really good for your workout. The other is for this just exploding area of research on the biological benefits of it, the neurobiological benefits of it. And for me, that's really, really important because, I'm a crummy sleeper. And Rhonda Patrick has done a lot of stuff on how creatine is really good when you don't sleep.
Yeah.
It's also really good because I'm trying to bank neurologically 4 hours of concentration and it's mostly creativity. So I have to set myself up for optimal creativity. And that's one of the best ways to do it. That's the best supplement that I've been able to find that affects my creativity later on in the morning. So I'm adding that to my pre-workout drink. I'm not taking no caffeine.
Yeah.
This is important. I don't take any caffeine to wake up. Huberman's right on this. And this is very contested in the literature about A2A adenosine and how caffeine blocks adenosine receptors. But I really believe, and Huberman believes this, but I find this the most compelling explanation, and it absolutely works for me. I don't use caffeine to wake up. I use caffeine to focus. Because what I want is I actually want circulating adenosine to metabolize and to clear endogenously. And I want lots and lots of clarity, plenty of open parking spots for the adenosine receptors that I can then fill 2 to 3 hours after I wake up with caffeine. And this is just modafinil. At this point, this is just vacuuming. This is going to vacuum.
Be careful with the actual modafinil, kiddos.
No, I know. Yeah, it's like that. I'm saying not that. So it's vacuuming the dopamine into the prefrontal cortex. So what the ADHD drugs do is that they keep more dopamine in the synapse, especially in the prefrontal cortex, such that you can focus, you have more concentration, and you have more creativity. And caffeine is great for this. A lot of people like nicotine. I don't like nicotine only because I was hopelessly addicted to cigarettes early on in my life. All the way through my 20s, I was a smoker.
Yeah.
And I blew it.
Well, a lot of people are step-by-step blowing it also with first microdosing nicotine, and then lo and behold, since it's sort of dance partners in addictive potential with heroin.
Yeah.
Then those microdoses become something along the line of mesodoses, and then before you know it, you're addicted to
pretty
nicotine.
soon it's all nicotine all the time.
Exactly.
And caffeine is highly addictive as well, but as a psychostimulant, it's better studied. It's much, much easier to self-manage. I get usually about 380 milligrams of caffeine.
Oh, that's decent.
It's decent.
Holy cow.
That's a venti dark roast from Starbucks. I grew up in Seattle town.
I mean, 380.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, if you have moderately strong coffee, that's going to be almost 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah. That's
powerful.
20 ounces of, good. I mean, and again, the darker roasts have less caffeine.
Yeah.
But I like them better because I grew up on the north side of Queen Anne Hill in Seattle when there was one Starbucks. And so I've been doing that since I was in 8th grade.
All right. So you have the holy half hour.
Yeah.
And then after the holy half hour, you haven't had any caffeine up to that point.
And now it's 7:15 in the morning.
All right. Now
so I'm back from mass.
Now what do you do?
I brew the coffee.
All right.
And I know how to brew coffee.
Now, do you have the 380 in a mega dose, or is that titrated over time?
No. In a mega dose, that usually it takes me about 45 minutes to drink.
Oh my God.
Half an hour to 45 minutes to drink. I know. Well, part of it is I've got this grizzled adrenal system. My HPA axis is like a building falling down at this point. So, it's gonna
just have to donkey kick your adrenals.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So then you brew the coffee.
Yeah.
And sit down.
Then I make my first nutrition of the day. And the first nutrition of the day is 60 to 70 grams of protein. And protein is really important, especially with a tryptophan-rich source of protein for mood management. And I'm not eating a turkey leg or something like that. I'm not, like Henry VIII, for that. It's mostly whey protein powder mixed in with non-fat, unflavored Greek yogurt.
Okay.
Which is great. And there's so many, it's like anymore. I just read that the fastest growing foods in America today are cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, and whey protein powder. which is extraordinary when you think about it. You and I got to this much earlier, back when it was harder to find Greek yogurt. And I put a little artificial sweetener in it because I'm not afraid of artificial sweetener. And I get more micronutrients in it with putting in walnuts and blueberries and things that actually give me the micronutrients that I need. By the way, I've also taken a multivitamin at this point. I take a multivitamin every day. I've been taking a multivitamin for decade after decade after decade. And there's these papers that were coming out 5 years ago saying that they're not only ineffective, they're bad for you. That's all been overtaken by events. And the newer research actually says it has neurocognitive protective benefits. Take your multivitamins. And there are a lot of ways to do it. Sometimes I'll take a good multivitamin in the morning. Sometimes I wait later in the day and take AG1. But you need a good multivitamin. Almost everybody does.
So a few, not persnickety, but detail questions, because that's how my mind operates. Why no-fat Greek yogurt instead of something with fat?
Fat would be better for me, to be sure. It's that the fat bothers my stomach.
Okay.
So I don't like it. It fills me up too much. It's hard to get to 65 grams of protein when you've got that much fat in the yogurt, because you're just going to be just falling asleep. I only do that because it's uncomfortable to have the fat.
Got it. And I'll add just a footnote for some people listening who will say, wait a second, I thought you could only absorb 30 grams of protein at a sitting. That's
old school research.
Not quite. And it is somewhere between an old wives' tale and just a statement that has been repeated so much that it's taken to be true, but it's not true.
It's not true.
And in fact, there is, or I should say there are some data to suggest that as you get older, you actually absorb protein more effectively in a larger bolus, meaning more protein at fewer sittings.
Right. That's correct. I'm completely persuaded by the research. And over the years, I've experimented a lot with that in my diet, just in the protocols of my eating. And what I found over the past 5 years in particular is that I'm most comfortable, because I'm naturally genetically really lean, I'm most comfortable when I'm sub 10 body fat.
Yeah, me too. I'm kidding.
But it's just, because of my genetics.
Yeah. Been trying to get there since I was 14.
If the genetics don't want it, then they're going to militate against it.
Battle dwarfed genetics.
No, man, if I had your frame, I would love that. I would be able to lift heavy. But the way to do that for me is to stay at 200 grams of protein a day.
Yeah.
So to keep moderate calories and 200 grams of protein a day, and then I can keep my body fat where I want it, where I feel really good, and I'm never hungry.
Yeah.
So, and that's the way to do it, is a really protein-rich diet. And of course, now popular culture is catching up with what we've known scientifically for a pretty long time.
So you get your colossus of caffeine. I can follow the holy half hour just to keep up with the alliteration.
Not everybody has to drink 380 milligrams of caffeine.
You have your 60 to 70 grams of protein as described, and then you are sitting down to write. What are you doing?
Yeah, then I sit down to write. If I'm at home, then I sit down to write. And there's no distractions. There's no meetings. There's no Zoom. If the President of the United States or the Pope calls, there will be a morning meeting, but that's kind of it, and I've got a very quiet place. I'm not looking at email. I'm not, answering text messages. I'm not reading the Wall Street Journal. To do this when I set myself up this way, I get 4 hours of productivity. And that's very unusual. If you're doing things the old-fashioned way, you're getting up when the sun is warm and you're having the nice big, 3 espressos to try to wake up, and you're not optimizing your brain chemistry appropriately, you'll get 2 hours of creativity max.
Max.